How many of you remember the lockdown? How many of you have tried baking or cooking something in the lockdown? Please raise your hands. How many of you thought that it was too terrible which you made? But I didn't think that. I thought I saw 40 tiny rectangles on my laptop screen. I was in class 2, 7 years old. On my laptop, the embarrassing part is that I wasn't focusing on my class teacher. I was focusing on the devices that the students were using. Someone had an old laptop. Someone had their dad's phone turned sideways. Someone had a brand new MacBook that actually made my screen feel a bit embarrassed. These questions gradually grew 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and hundreds of them. Now, my mother had one strict rule: no video games. At the age of 7, I thought this was a violation of basic human rights. But she she was thinking to stop me from playing video games, but she turned me into someone who wanted to build them. Every evening, my friends would call me after online classes that come, Abhimanyu, will join us. But I give the strongest reply a 7-year-old could. I'll ask my mom. But the universe replied no. Then I started asking different questions, then starting from video editing to coding, then robotics. YouTube became my school, Google became my library, and robotics gradually happened. Now, one fine summer evening, something happened that my parents still bring up to the dinner table. I broke my favorite remote control car. But it wasn't that it was not working, it wasn't broken. It worked perfectly. That actually made it more worse. I wanted to know how motors moved, how gears turned, and how signals transferred from my hand and leaped towards the car into another room. Now the question comes that can I put these things back together? Eventually, mostly. That was the lesson that I got to get, but that lesson could not be earned from any video tutorial or any lesson. Then I got inspired to make my project Vertigrow Smart Hydroponics in Vertical Farming System. This project was also recognized at the National Science Center Delhi. It won the second runner up in Avishkar Makeathon, where more than 20,000 students were participating. I realized something. Every app, every website, every code depends on one single thing: trust. But what are we trusting? And whom are we trusting? Then I went to a cyber awareness workshop by Dr. Rakshit Tandon, where I asked question, which was the only thing I knew to do. So he called me backstage. He said that you seem genuinely interested. That sentence led me to the door of GPCSSI, or the Gurugram Police Cybersecurity Summer Internship. I was the youngest intern up there, and I was also recognized by the ACP Cybercrime Gurgaon. I realized that hacking is not just about hackers wearing black hoodies in dark rooms. It's about saving families, kids, hospitals, and even the whole world. I want to do a simple activity. People ask that, what's your mother's maiden name? Where were you born? Or simply, what was your first pet's name? These seem to be sweet and harmless questions, but the answer to your password recovery questions. This thing is known as social engineering. Acha, let's take an example. It's your birthday. After school, you go with your friends and roam around. You take a picture, and as usual, you post it on Instagram. Okay. So then you don't realize that you're wearing your school's uniform. You have your ID card on, And there's a car behind which has a number plate. That creates your digital footprint. Now, that's when I created my project, Sentinel OSINT Hub. This is a case study. A company reported a fraud. The attacker left behind only one clue, an email address. If my project starts with only one target, every investigation begins with single or one clue: email, username, phone number, domain, IP address, anything. Now we have the live investigator module in which it runs real backend lookups for public domains, websites, IP, phone numbers, metadata, Wayback DNS, RDAP, and many more. Now we have the advanced OSINT report in which it searches hundreds of public searches like maybe it's Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Firefox, many others. Now we have OSINT tool hub, multiple OSINT tools which are running in the backend come together in one front end, which makes it more easier to imply them. Then we have the data refiner module in which it removes the duplicate data and filter noises and categorizes the data as per your needs. Then we have the evidence organizer. Every clue in this feature is preserved. Nothing gets lost during the investigation. Then we have the most important feature of my project, Source Locker. It shows archive web pages, stores screenshots, it preserves evidence before it disappears. Because when you are investigating, the evidences get changed second by second. So you need to store them before they get hacked or stolen. Then you have the public record analyzer, which uses more SEOs and analyzes the public records, extracts relationships, and discovers hidden connection between them. Then we have the entity graph. These basically they create nodes. Nodes are something which help to connect the dots between the cases, the evidences, the all the things that you find. Now we have the search query builder. Think of it as giving a prompt to it's a refined prompt to ChatGPT. Would it make your answer better? It would, right? Same for search engines. They build queries which target the right thing to get. Then we have the evidence report. This gets all the data which you got from an investigation and builds into one word format. Now, my question changes from can I build it to should I build it? Would it help someone? Or it shouldn't, hurt someone, my project? So these were my main questions after this. The one thing that I kept in my mind while creating this project was that the better our questions get, the faster our tools have to be because you always have to be two step ahead. My biggest achievement wasn't any competition. It was one small question. It all started from 40 rectangles: code, robotics, cybersecurity, and finally trust, AI, and ethics. You don't need any expensive equipment or perfect grades. The only thing you need is one question that you can't stop thinking about. If at the age of 7, I could see 40 questions, the next question is yours. Thank you.